Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to create my split end bracelet. For some reason, the way that they split into two reminded me of split ends. I am also a hairdresser, if anyone doesn't know that. So for this bracelet, you will need 111 bands total. I'm going to be doing this style today where we use two different colors in the middle. I think it looks a little better. So the breakdown of that is 48 of this baby blue, 21 of the orange, 20 of the navy blue, and 22 of the lighter blue. You will also need one C-clip and your hook, and I will explain the loom setup in just a moment. So let's get our supplies ready and we can get started. To make this bracelet, you will need to have at least one rainbow loom, but I'm going to be using two to avoid an extension. So I have my first loom here and then my second right in front of it where the long blue base is. If you only have one loom, you can still make this, and you do get a pretty good sized piece too, but you will need extension bands if you only use the one loom. So the first color you're going to choose is going to be what is the baby bluish color on this one. And I am going to be using this purple color. And these bands are from the mini combo bestie kit from Rainbow Loom, and I believe I got this one on Amazon. So we're going to first lay that in the very middle for when we close it up later. We will go to the left and the right. And we're simply just going to go straight down the sides. Now for this bracelet, I don't go all the way down to the end of the loom. It ends up being a little bit too big on me. So starting from this first one right here, I count down 21 and then I bring it in at the end. So I normally aim for about a 7.5 inch bracelet. This one came out to be about 7 1/4. So if you want it bigger than that, you can go to the end of the loom, but it just was sitting too loose on my wrist. So 21 was perfect for me. I don't know why that's not lining up straight. I've never seen that happen. That's a little weird. So I've laid 21 straight ones, and then I brought it in on the end. So if you're looking at the middle pin, I have 3 without anything connected, if you're doing the exact same amount as I am. And then we're going to literally come up and do the exact same thing on the left side. So go ahead and get all of these laid and then bring it in at the end, and I will meet back up when mine are done. Okay, so when you're caught up, this is what it should look like. I did go ahead and push mine down already. So we'll just come back to the beginning of the loom. And now we're going to choose this second color that sits on the border, which is this orange. I'm going to use this turquoise color band, and these are from the BFF kit. So we're going to be laying a bunch of horizontal bands going down the loom, starting on the first row. So we'll just lay it straight across like that. Come up to the next row and do the same thing. And we would do that all the way down the loom. The only pins we will not lay this on is the very last row. And I'll show you that when we get down there. I told you guys in my last video how I had pneumonia. I was getting better. And then I had a really bad episode of not being able to catch my breath and ended up having to go to the hospital. So I am still kind of dealing with some health issues and just trying to get my breathing and everything under control. So if you notice I'm more short of breath than normal, that would be why. So just bear with me. I'm just trying to take my time, not talk too much. But I'm also trying to get back to my normal life. Okay, so that was my very last one that I'm going to lay. Like I said, do not lay one on the very last row there. So we are going to stop laying bands for a minute and flip some bands over using our hook. So on this first row here, which is where we're going to start, we're going to be grabbing the second band down on the pin, which is going to be this band right here. And we're just going to bring it up and over and release. So that horizontal band there catches it. We're going to do the same thing on both sides. So grab the second band on the left pin and bring it over and release. You can see that it gets caught right there on the blue band. So we'll come up to the next one and do the same thing. It will always be the second band down on the pin. And just flip it over. It doesn't actually matter which way the loom is facing. I just found it to be a little easier if it's facing this way. But we're going to do that on every single row. So we're basically flipping the back side of the border band over on top of the horizontal bands. Okay, so when you guys are all caught up, push them down a little bit so we can lay our next layer. I just want to show you a close-up of what it looks like now that I have all mine flipped over. And just make sure that you did get all of them, including the last one there. This is what it looks like from the side. So now we are going to choose our next color. And since I'm using two, the first color that I'm going to be grabbing is going to be the lighter blue color that's in here. And I'm going to use this pastel turquoise. We're going to come up to the second middle pin and we're going to lay a V. So diagonally out to the left and diagonally out to the right. And now I'm going to choose my second color, which is going to be the navy blue. And I'm going to use this pastel purple. And on the next center pins, we're going to lay another V, but in that color. If you want to use all one color, you can certainly do that. You can use more than one color. I mean, more than two colors. It's up to you. I am just going to keep alternating between these two colors. And we're just going to lay these V's all the way down the loom. It's funny how nobody ever needs to use the water, the laundry, the sink, or anything until I start filming. And then it's like water city. All I hear is water all around me. So funny. So we are going to lay these V's until we get to the end of the loom. Okay, so I am all done. Go ahead and hit the pause button if you've not laid all of yours yet. This is what it looks like, and I did push them down a little bit just because the next step is a little easier. But once you're done laying all of those, turn your loom around so that it is facing you. We're going to grab one more of the very first border color we laid, and we're going to place a cap band on the front center pin for when we're ready to start the looping. So we're going to grab our hook, and before we start looping from the cap band, we do have to work with the horizontal bands that we laid. So we're going to come up to where our first horizontal band is, which is that turquoise band in there. Just going to pull it towards yourself and sit it in front of the pin right in front of it. Come up to the next horizontal band up here, pull it towards yourself, and place it in front of the pin that's in front of it. Just like that. Here's my next one. Just make sure you have both bands. They're kind of squished together, so it's hard not to grab both. Just pull it into the front, or to the pin in front. We would do this all the way up the loom, of course. So if you made my swirly tail bracelet, you will notice it's very, very similar. We didn't use two bands in the center, but everything else is very similar. And don't forget to get the very last one up here at the top. So that's what it should look like right now. So now we're going to be looping the V bands. They're not V's anymore because we turned the loom around, but my turquoise and the purple that are in the middle. So it is important how we lay the bands. We don't want to be twisting them in any way. So we're going to come up to our first set of V bands, which is my turquoise right here. And when you go into the opening right here, you're going to push the horizontal band out of the way. Make sure you're only grabbing the top band, and you don't want to twist it. I'm taking it off of the pin, and I'm going to move my arm and like turn my hand so that I can bring it up 2 pins and connect it up here on the side. So you don't want to go to the closest pin, you want to come up to the second one. You see how I don't have any twist in that band? It does make a huge difference. So we'll go back into this pin. I like to just swoosh my hook to the left and my hook grabs the band on its own. I pull it towards myself to just release it from the pin, and then I pull my hand backwards to the right and connect it to the second pin up here. Remember, not the closest one, go up 1 more. One little tip, if you're using 2 colors like I did, whatever pin you're connecting that band to will match, the colors will match. So see how I have turquoise here, and now that pin has turquoise? That's a little trick, but if you're not using 2 colors, it won't be helpful. But just in case you are, I wanted to tell you that. So we're going to come up to this next pin, and when I grab this top band, I usually go to the right with my hook, and it picks the band up on its own. I pull it back towards myself, and then just stretch it up 2 and connect it to that side pin there. Come back in, grab this one, and pull it back. So that's what it's looking like. I will say it's much easier to do this looping with the loom backwards, but I worry that it might make it tricky for some of you. But I do want to show you just in case you want to try it. If you turn the loom around, it's so much easier to grab the bands with the loom facing backwards. This is where the last ones were connected. You can see that this is the next one that we have to loop. So you literally just pick the band up right here, pick it up, and then just stretch it back to and connect it. So this is where the last band was, so obviously you're not going to lay it there. You just lay it to the next one. And then you come back down here and you grab it from here. Pick it up off the pin and then pull it back towards yourself and connect. Here's the next one. You're just going to grab it from behind, come back 2 pins and connect. Make sure you fully get it released from the pin before you stretch it back towards yourself. This is definitely the easier way to do it in my opinion, but you do run the risk of missing looping a band. I've done it. If you get halfway through and realize you didn't loop one, you just go back and loop it. The order doesn't matter. But I will continue doing the rest of it this way, but now you at least have either option. So I'm just going to come to my next one and keep on looping. I should have probably rethought the colors because it looks like they're all kind of matching. I usually think that through better when I choose my colors for a tutorial. I try not to make things so close together. My, what's it called? I think it's rainbow something. I have another tutorial out there that uses the same type of looping. It's actually pretty similar. After you make one, let me know what you guys find easier, looping it facing this direction or it facing backwards. The reason I think it's easier to do it backwards is because we don't want any twist in the band, so it's a little bit weird like not wanting to automatically turn your wrist when connecting the band, if you know what I mean. But I don't think it's too hard of a design. Once it is, you know what I'm doing. I think it's pretty straightforward. But I'm at the top of my loom, and as you can see, we have no more pins to connect to. So this last V, we're just going to connect to the top pins again. So this one will go to the left, and this one to the right. Like so. And then just go through and make sure you did not miss any of your middle V bands. I've done it quite a few times. If you do, just literally go ahead and loop it to the pin that's empty. You will be good to go. It will not mess anything up. So once you're done that, all we have left to do is the borders. So I'm going to do the left side first. Well, we'll loop the bottom out first. So go on the cap band, and the top band for me is going to the right, so we'll bring that to the right. The next one will go to the left. And from here, we're going to be grabbing the bottom band on each pin and bringing it forward. So just move all of the top layers out of the way and grab the very bottom and loop it up. Go into the next pin, make sure you're moving the top bands out of the way and only grabbing the very bottom and loop it up. It's actually pretty easy to do this part. The part of the bracelet that is facing us right now, by the way, is the back of the bracelet. So when you take it off of the loom, it will actually be the back of the bracelet facing you, just in case anyone needed to know that. So when you get to the very top one, you're just simply going to go into the top corner pin and bring that one into the center. And then you'll come back to the beginning and loop the right border exactly the same way, grabbing the very bottom band and bringing it up. So I'm going to go ahead and get my right border looped up off camera, and then I will meet you back here when I reach the top. So when you reach the top, don't forget to bring that last corner one into the center like I did. This is what it looks like. And now we're just going to grab our C-clip. We're going to grab the last band that we had laying there for closure and just bring both ends together and attach our C-clip. And then you're just simply going to go section by section and pull it off of the loom. When you take it off of the loom, you're going to want to give it a nice good stretch, going all the way down it, just to help things fall into place. It lays like a little wormy. But once you bring both ends together, you are good to go. But that is how you create my split ends bracelet. I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you do, please hit the like button down below, and don't forget to tag me on Instagram if you make a rendition so that I can see it. But that will be it for today, you guys. I do appreciate you watching another video, and I will see you all really soon at my next tutorial. Thank you guys. Bye.